Hi guys, so this is sketching inequalities on a number line. So it's a good bit of information here at the top. So first of all, this box, the inequality symbols, the first one there is, well the first one is actually a not equal to sign. We don't need to worry too much about that one for today. The next one is a less than sign, so that just means less than when the arrow, or when the basically the arrow is pointing towards the left. Then the next one is less than or equal to. That means it could be less than or it could be equal to, so that's pointing towards the left as well. Then there's a greater than sign, that's when it's pointing to the right, and then the greater than or equal to sign, that's pointing to the right as well with a line under it. So if we look here then, so this just has a lot of information about different number systems. So the number one there, the set of natural numbers, this is something you need to remember as well. Set of natural numbers are numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So they don't include 0 or the minus numbers, the negative numbers, and they don't include any fractions or decimals, so it's just whole numbers. The set of integers then, they are all whole numbers including minus numbers, 0 and the positive numbers. And then the third one that's here is the set R. So R actually includes everything, and that's so includes all positive, negative, fractions, decimals, everything. And the way you indicate that on a number line is by just shading in the line, or a bold line is written here. So basically shading in the line, or making it into a bold line was kind of called here. So that's important. Whenever you see, so if you look at our two examples here, in the first one you've got x is an element of n, in the second one you've got x is an element of r. So whenever you see x is an element of n or x is an element of z, then you're just putting down dots on the numbers that are included. Whenever you see x is an element of r, like in example 2, that's when you're going to shade in the line. So we'll just go through the examples anyway. The first one, sketch x is less than 4 on the number line, where x is an element of the natural number. So you've got two bits of information here. You know that x is less than 4, and you know that x is an element of the natural number. So if x is less than 4, think about it, it couldn't be 5, 6 or 7 then, and it couldn't actually be 4 either, because it's less than 4. So less than 4 isn't going to be the same thing as 4. So if we're to think about the numbers it could be, it has to be numbers that are below 4, but we also know that x is an element of n here. X is an element of the natural numbers, therefore it couldn't actually be any of the minus numbers either, or 0. So if you think about it then, it has to either be 3, 2 or 1. It has to be one of those three. So we just colour in the points on those on those three numbers then, and that's our answer, our final answer for that one. Example 2, x is less than or equal to minus 1 on a number line, and x is an element of r. So x is an element of r in this case. That means we know we'll be shaded in the line at some point, and x is less than or equal to minus 1. So if I go to minus 1 and I just put a circle around it, and then because it's less than it, x could be minus 2, it could be minus 3, it could be minus 4, or it could be anything in between there. So what you do there is you would shade in the line like that. Now because x is less than or equal to minus 1, that means for this one it could be minus 1 as well. So therefore I must shade in my circle at minus 1. Now another thing that's important, if that question had been that x is less than 1, what you'd actually do there is you'd leave your circle open like I have, so that would actually be your final answer. But it's not. The question is x is less than or equal to 1, therefore you shade in the circle. So just try to remember, if it has the line underneath, if it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you shade in the circle. If it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, then you leave the circle open. So here's two questions. So if you want to just pause the video and just try these two. Just try sketch a number line really quickly and then play it on, and I'll go through the answers. Right, so question 1 anyway, x is less than minus 2, and it also says that x is an element of the z, so x is an element of the integers. That means it could be a whole number, a plus number, or a minus number, and we know it's less than minus 2. Therefore, if it's less than minus 2, it can't be minus 2, so it doesn't have less than or equal to, so it can't be minus 2. Therefore, because it's x is an element of z's, we're going to put dots on it this time. So it has to be minus 3 or it has to be minus 4. So that's the answer there. And you could put more numbers in if you want. You could put minus 5 in and put a dot on that, and minus 6 and so on. But that's enough to show the set that x could be. Next one, x is greater than or equal to minus 6, and x is an element of r this time. Because x is an element of r, we know we'll be shading in the line, because we want to include all the bits in between the numbers, all the fractions and decimals and everything. So x is greater than or equal to minus 6, so I'm going to put a circle around minus 6 anyway, and then I'm going to shade everything into the right of it. So you're colouring in the line basically, right out to the arrow. Then because x is greater than or equal to minus 6, that means it could be minus 6 as well. So that circle I had there at minus 6, I'm going to shade that in as well. So you were getting a shaded circle at minus 6, and then colouring in the line, everything to the right of it.